that connection.
Yeah.
Keeps you there connected,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And so those things are exactly that. Those little
Yeah.
things like that. He's continually giving you to
Yeah,
keep
what
you
you
in a
need,
relationship and to
It's so funny. Us as people, we're trying to trust God to bring us to a place where we no longer have to trust Him.
Yeah.
That's what we won't say it like that.
But that's the
that's
ultimate.
what we're thinking. Because
But that's
like,
the
yes, bro, if I could just have like all my debt cancelled, then I
Exactly.
can breathe. So,
And we are recording.
Are we live?
I think we're
What's
recording.
up, guys? We are live.
Welcome.
Damn! Today was a mission.
Yo, what a day,
Yo,
man.
we were supposed to start recording like 3 hours ago, and
Almost literally.
my geyser popped, and the guys came to fix it, and they took very long. And shame they did a thorough job, which is good.
Yes.
I'd prefer that.
Yes.
But yo, what a day! Trying to juggle things, and candle business is booming, which is thank you Lord.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yeah, that is absolutely amazing. That is really taking off and doing really phenomenal.
And baby business.
Baby business is insane.
Booming.
Yeah, Luna Pie is doing freaking insane. She's sleeping well. She's crying well. She's drinking well. Yeah, pooping well. Yeah, so
That's what they do, ne?
exactly. Yeah. But I mean, she's doing flipping awesome. Yeah, she's very cute.
Lekker.
I'll see if I can. There's a photo that I took. I'll see if I can.
You can put it in and then you can do your
yeah,
editing
yeah.
magic. Your
Oh, even yeah. Let me just.
you got a microphone that's 12 kilometers long. Technology, ne?
Technology. Come on, man. What's going on here? Yo, bro. Anyway, I'll say. Don't know if you can see. Come on. Oh, look how cute.
I can't see what they're looking at, but
Anyway.
I trust that it's cute.
Okay, yeah, that's very cute, bro. Very, very cute.
I trust that's not a picture of you.
No, it's not. Look.
Oh, I see. It's very cute.
Very cute, huh? Just sleeping in Amy's arms. So sometimes she gets a bit knikkerig in the bed,
Yeah.
and then we just pick her up, and
Yeah.
she immediately falls asleep again. So, and I mean, for us, we're quite chilled people. So,
No, that's lekker.
yeah, it's like she can sleep in our arms. It's kind of cute. We get nice photos.
You get nice time with her.
Yeah, exactly. It's good bonding,
Yeah.
bonding experience. So yeah, so that's that. My knife broke a couple of weeks ago.
What now?
You know that the one that my teacher got me.
Yes.
Yeah. So what happened was I was shooting by an arrow,
Okay.
and I just flinched a little bit, and instead of hitting the soft pads, I hit the wooden thing.
Mm.
So I tried to pull it out,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I didn't work. So I tried to wedge it open with my knife, and
Yeah,
bling, broke. So
Broke.
yeah, currently I'm
So
using
you're
my
carrying your
big knife,
nice.
my big
It's crazy,
hunting knife.
Dylan, I've had a couple of those. I mean, I had a car accident years ago. An old
Yeah.
man rode in the back of us and whatever, and the car went off. It got scrapped and went off, and the scrap yard phoned me and were adamant I must come fix the radio. And I'm like, no, it's
Yeah.
old, 95 model. No, it was
Yeah.
98 model, whatever car. The radio's not that expensive, really. They were adamant. So my dad and I drove out to Malkman to go and get the radio. And I didn't think to take tools with me. I mean, you think you just slide the radio
Yeah.
out. I mean, at that time, the Bantam before, you could just pull my radio out and there's no problem. In fact, my Figo's off the radio I've put in now because they obviously came with the radio, but the radio that the Figo had only took CDs.
Yeah.
Or MP3 CDs, but still, I wanted the USB.
Yeah.
Anyway, they just slide out. So I had a knife as well. And I also was cropping
Oh, no,
in
wedge
and got a piece of metal in here. And when I did that, the whole thing went whoop and bent. Fortunately, I was able to bend it straight. I actually
Yeah.
still have the knife bend it straight, and it was. Dylan was doing a very similar thing, not with the radio. I think he was also like trying to get something out of it at wedge,
Yeah.
and he broke the tip off his honey badger. Yeah, like crazy.
Yeah, that's not fun.
And he's a bit of a muhu, Dylan. If you're watching, you're a bit of a muhu. He didn't check in the box when you get a honey badger, when you buy one or whatever. It comes with a warranty. You register your knife, and it's a lifetime warranty. They'll fix anything like that. They'll replace it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's done it. I don't know if you've done it.
Yeah, go register it, bro.
Because I'm like, bro, go check your box. Have you got your box? No, he does it with the box. Go check in there. There is something definitely like that. They'll either repair it or they'll replace it. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know if he's done it. But
Nice.
anyway,
That's
I did find out something new about that. I don't know if I told you about my honey badger knife. It's got like what I thought was a bottle opener on the top. So the
Yes.
blade
Oh,
runs
yeah.
like that.
You said it was a.
I'll tell you, it's
opener
actually
or
an
something.
opener. So when you pull it out of your pocket, it's automatically open by the time you get it out. It's a fast draw, as they call it.
Ah, interesting.
Learn something new.
Oh, that is quite interesting. Yeah.
So.
Okay. Just don't cut yourself. Don't fast
Well, that's what
draw
I did,
yourself.
but I think it's because I have it in my left pocket with my cell phone is in my right pocket.
Yes.
and that the guy who showed me, he doesn't have the same thing on, but he has a but he puts it in the right pocket and he pulled it out, and you could see when you put your hand in, it's on the knife and then on the clip, and as you pull it out, it automatically, so you know when near the blade, it pops open by itself.
Okay, check.
Which makes sense. So it pops open and
Yes,
you can
yes,
actually
yes,
turn
yes.
the knife in your hand like that, which is
Okay.
pretty cool. I'm not carrying it. It's in the
Yeah,
little
it's
cupboard there. You didn't see the cupboard yet, bro. I don't know if they
I
can
have,
see the
I've seen
cupboard.
photos of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's right over
Little
here.
cupboard there with all
Very
my
cool.
pocket knives in.
Nice.
So yeah,
Lekker, bro.
but yeah,
Yeah,
lekker.
interesting how things work out. So.
Mm.
Obviously, your week was then quite
My week's good. It was my birthday.
Yeah.
So you guys now know that when we recorded this, it was my birthday week. Birthday on Wednesday.
Yes.
It's lekker. Super blessed. Super crazy.
Okay, got some 303 bullets. And
Got some 303 bullets,
Yeah.
which was awesome. At a good price and apparently a really good brand.
Mm.
My first time I'm buying, so like
Yeah.
I literally phoned them and I'm like, I'm looking for, this is what I'm looking for, this is the
Yeah.
grains I'm looking for, whatever. You know, they're like, what brand? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. What do you have?
What do you have? Well, also, you
What
keep
else did
hearing,
they have?
like the Guncheck, they had just had that.
Okay.
They only had those PPUs or whatever.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
PPE, yeah.
But Co-op, she asked me, but then she, as I said, I'm not sure, 'cause the lady was confused because she came back with only having the 120 grains in one box of it.
Oh,
and
that's
one
weird,
of
eh?
it.
120 grain for 308, for
It's
30 caliber.
Yeah, it's
is-
light.
Yeah, that's very light. That's a short bullet.
You're not gonna get distance out of that, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. The shorter bullets, I don't know. I stand very much corrected, but to be corrected. But
Yeah.
I think they don't stabilize as well as
Yeah.
as the heavier bullets, because the heavy bullets are longer.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't. You
Yes,
don't
yes,
get
yes.
the heaviness from making it wider because
Yes.
it's a 30 caliber.
Yes, yeah.
So you obviously get the length, and the longer the bullet, the better the BC, or what it does help.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. So
I don't know. They only had the one box anyway, and they weren't sure because the gentleman that works there, he was actually in Humansdorp, but I don't know
Yeah.
what the story was. So I was like, cool, I'll
Yeah.
come round if that's what kind of thing.
Yeah.
Phone Guncheck, and they were like, yeah, we got 4 boxes. Come grab
Check
what
it
you
out.
want.
Okay.
Which is quite exciting. I got a new laptop, brand spanking new laptop, which is like for me. I've never had a new laptop.
That's very cool.
I've said it before. Like I really don't mind like getting second-hand stuff and whatever. So
Yeah.
most
Oh,
of
bro,
my stuff
second-hand
has
stuff.
been
I
second-hand.
mean, literally, you can buy something new that's second-hand
Yeah.
for like half the price.
Bro, I don't
sometimes,
even,
and it's
can
like-
be honest, I don't even buy most of my stuff. Like,
Yeah.
my brother-in-law, before he was my brother-in-law, and they were still dating, he had a laptop, massive laptop, and it just overheated and would automatically update, would crash the thing. Anyway,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
eventually couldn't do that. With Varsity, it was too much of a risk.
Yeah.
So he put it in the cupboard kind of thing. And he said, one day, he's like, listen, if you want to pay for it to get fixed or whatever, you're welcome to it. I think I paid like $500.
Yeah.
And all they had to do was just wipe it and then take off all automatic updates.
Yes,
Boom. And it was a massive laptop. But it got so hot you could fry egg on it kind of thing.
Yep.
So you had to have a fan underneath
Yeah,
and all.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's just kind of okay. I am. So, I've never stressed about that, you know. The laptop I had before was my mom's that she
Yes.
bought, and so the tablet I've got was
As
my
long
mom's.
as long as it works, bro.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. I mean, like some of them we have plug screens in, keyboards in, mice, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was very blessed. They bought me a brand new laptop, little Proline, and it reminds me a lot of like your little Apple
Yes.
laptops because it's got a metal case
Oh.
or that aluminium case,
Nice.
whatever it is. It's a notebook, so it's not a huge one.
Yes.
Flipping nice, flipping
Oh,
nice.
that's proper, huh? Nice and light to carry around.
Nice enough to
yeah.
carry around, much smaller, which is nice. My bag, that the previous I was getting very annoyed.
Yeah.
I'm a prepper.
Yeah.
Not really, but I'm a prepper.
Yeah,
in terms of,
you like to
Yeah, so
be
I have, like-
self-sufficient.
yeah,
and
I have
not
everything in
dependent,
it. So I'm like, if I need an extra cable, I've got a spare cable. I've got
Yes,
this.
yes,
I've got an aux cable. And now I'm kind of like whatever. I haven't used any of the extras in years,
Yeah.
so kind of not going to carry that all now,
Yeah.
which grates me a bit. I've got to get used to that, fight
Yeah.
that urge. But yeah, so it was a very good week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a good week. I have a bit of a testimony though from today.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's so crazy
Shit.
because I'm sure I can share this. I'm sure my sister won't mind. Obviously, Enric with the geezer and one of you were a bit delayed and whatnot.
Yes.
And I mean, we were planning to start at whatever time it was. And anyway, my sister phoned me at like 2:30, whatever it was, like in a flat panic kind of thing. She's like, listen, I need game ideas for. She's got this. She runs a part of what she does. She does like a modelling school, finishing school kind of thing in the town that she lives in.
Okay.
As a part of a way to give back to the community and the girls and teach them stuff that all the amazing blessings that she learned growing up and
Yes.
being a model and being in that kind of industry. And anyway, she phoned me. She's got this Christmas party coming up, and she needs some games and like, do I have any ideas? Obviously, we do games at youth, so
Yes,
what do
yes,
you
yes.
kind of do? So I'm like all nonchalant about it. I'm like, okay, well, how many kids do you have? No, 14. It's okay, well, you can try this and that. So I'm like, okay, then if you prep this, she goes, no, I don't have time to prep. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have time to prep?
Yeah.
She's like, the Christmas party's at 3 today.
Yeah.
She
So
thought
that's
she would.
like 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, she was like, she really thought she would have time. Her day got away from her, and obviously she's 25,000 months pregnant. Well, she's near the end.
She's very pregnant,
Baby's
yeah.
coming soon.
Yeah.
So she's out of breath.
Oh,
and she's
basically
like,
like a month from now.
yeah. What's the date?
Oh, it's 12th. So
So,
14
yeah,
days.
yeah,
Basically
it's a
a month.
month.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, just crazy. Like, and so I'm like, okay, well, let's do this game, do that kind of thing, whatever. They don't really want to run around too much. They're girls. They don't want to. So, but anyway.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. That stuff's not super important. The point, what is important was, if you had been on time, we would have been recording, and I wouldn't have been answered her phone call,
That's awesome, man.
and she would have been in the Dwayne
Yeah.
for this thing that was happening now.
Yeah. So it's her
Like-
fault that I was late.
Yeah, it's her fault. We blame her. No,
God
no.
was like, shame, I've got to sort Ashley out. Like, I'm going to make Hendrik late. It's fine. We'll sort Ashley out.
Now you said that, I'm going to get it in the ear just now. After you watch this episode, I'm going to get in the ear about this whole spiel.
Oh, that's
But-
awesome, man. Yeah.
But I get like, not chills or thrills or whatever. I get like this
The
energizes
heebie-jeebies,
me.
Yeah.
Because people think that God only moves in, growing a leg that was cut off, or a hand or what.
Yeah.
That's, curing cancer. That's miracles.
Yeah.
This is a miracle.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I
That's
would have
just-
been busy,
yeah.
and when we're recording, I don't answer my phone.
It's so
It's
so
on silent.
convenient. It's so lucky. It's like, wow, yes, thanks God. Like that helps,
He made you delayed for whatever reason,
Yeah.
which made me, and I was ready. I wasn't delayed either, so I was ready,
Yeah.
waiting kind of thing. So when she phoned, I was able to
you
answer.
weren't busy with something.
Exactly. It's not like I was busy with something else.
Yeah.
I mean, had we almost cancelled, and we're going to record tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then we didn't. And
Yeah.
had we done that, I was going to bugger off and do something else.
Yes, yeah.
I had two other things I needed to do,
Yeah.
so I would have been too busy to kind of
Yeah.
help her with that, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, God's hand is in everything, guys.
Yeah.
Pay
It's so
attention.
lucky. Yeah. Like, don't get upset when you're late or when
Yeah,
something doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So oftentimes, I mean, like sometimes it is demonic and whatever. But
Yeah.
like, if you love God, like He'll use everything
For the
for
good,
the
exactly.
good of those who love Him.
Yeah.
So if as long as you love Him, whatever the devil throws at you, He's going to turn it around for your blessing.
Exactly.
Whether it's late or good, whatever. But like,
Yeah.
oftentimes I feel like God, like, I've thought, like, I wonder, what is the closest I've been to death
Yeah.
without realizing it,
Yeah.
because God put a slight delay in my schedule or something like that.
Well, I saw what you're saying.
Like I was going to get into a severe car accident if I was literally like 2
Yeah.
seconds earlier,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
5 seconds earlier, or
Yeah.
5 seconds later, or something like that. You know?
No, I'm 100%.
And
understand what you're saying.
and God was just like, okay, not today, bro. Like, you can stay on
it's
earth
not
for a
your-
little bit longer.
It's not your time. It's not the time.
And like, I would love to find out those moments. So I'm like super grateful. Like, if, like, just being alive, waking up every day.
100%.
If I'm late or if I'm not, like, whatever, just live a life of surrender.
I'm grateful as well that like He's working in those small things in our lives.
100%. Yeah.
He's not just waiting. Like, you guys have got it together. You kind of, not that we've got it together, but my point is, yeah, definitely not. There are many things.
We try.
Many things. We
Yeah.
could make many episodes.
Yeah.
No, but my point is, like, you guys are surviving. You got a house,
Yes,
you got
yes,
food,
yes,
you got
yes,
whatever.
yes.
So you're cool. I'm gonna go work with the Oak Ridge cancer or whatever.
Yes.
He is working there,
Yeah.
but he's
But
also like, listen,
involved in our
I need you
life.
to help someone there.
Yeah.
I need you to be. I told you guys the story of me being going early to my drum lesson
Yeah.
and being behind the accident of a woman who's looking after a special needs kid, and I deal with that, so I know exactly how to
Yeah.
deal. And I'd just been in an accident a month just after the accident
Yeah.
I was in, so I knew exactly who to phone and what to do.
Yeah.
That's God's hand, man.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Yeah.
That's His hand
I
in your
think-
life.
Yeah, there's like for me as well. I think I have shared it here maybe on one of the first podcasts we did. When I was still in Kenton-on-Sea, amazing place. Yeah, God's presence is there. And
Okay.
we were there.
It's like
and,
God's presence being in Hawaii. Yeah. Or on an island somewhere. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
going.
so-
I'm going.
So I was just like walking on the beach. In fact, I think it was a time in my life where I was like figuring out, and I needed to make some big decisions, and what's going on, and I just needed God's help, and like I couldn't hear Him, so I was like, okay, let's just go walk on the beach, let's go chill,
Yeah.
see what he has to say to me, and I'm praying, and I'm like, God, like speak to me, and I'm listening,
yeah.
and I'm here, and I'm like frustrated because I'm not hearing anything, and whatever, and then like I hear in my heart, I just hear, check the expiry date on the milk when you buy it, and I'm like, what? Like, God, this is my
Come on.
life decisions.
Yeah,
That
where-
I'm like, these are
where-
pivotal
yeah,
decisions. that
yeah.
And you're telling
Why
me
are
about
the
the milk.
trees not growing,
You know?
and why when I touch things, and why the water not splitting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what the milk, whatever. Anyway, so I'm like frustrated. I'm like, no, that obviously wasn't me. It wasn't what I heard. It wasn't God. It was just I made it up.
yeah.
Whatever. So
Looking for God in
I'm
everything.
walking around and I'm walking and I just don't hear anything. And this, I kind of forget about this. Get in the car, drive to the shop, and buy some things, whatever. And as I
Buy
touch
some
the milk, I touch it like this, and there's this like thing that happened to me about like check the date.
Yeah.
And I'm like, check the date, and it's expired. So I'm like, okay, so take one that isn't expired.
Yeah.
And in that moment, God said to me, I've even got the milk like covered in your life. I don't even
That's
want
amazing.
you to buy expired milk.
Yeah,
I've
that's
got
amazing.
this sorted. I've got your
Yeah,
life is sorted. Don't worry
Exactly.
about it.
Yeah,
I've
that's
got it.
powerful.
Just trust me. And yes, what an amazing, just a thing for me in my life. And
Yeah, it's powerful.
And,
For me, that's so powerful.
sure, yeah.
Small testimony, small thing like
Yeah.
that. But he's showing his complete
profound,
utter.
yeah.
It's profound, and God's showing his complete and utter. What's the word? Control of our lives.
Involvement.
He's there in everything. He's there in the fact that we delayed, that your
Yeah.
milk needs to be checked, that whatever it might be, he's there. I mean, I was also delayed. I thought I was going to be late at our original time because I was listening to a voice note from Hendrik. I went outside. I was walking towards my car, and I was like, "Oh, there's a stone in my wheel." And I went to touch the stone, and it was
It's
a
a nail.
nail. The tire hadn't gone down. It's crazy. The tire didn't go down. Hadn't gone down.
Yeah.
I still drove to Haiku, which is
Yeah.
not far away. It's like a K maybe
Yeah.
away.
Okay,
And-
yeah.
Didn't go down. We put it on the ramp. We lifted the car up. No problem. The moment the guy touched it to go see how loose is it, the head fell off and air came out.
Hectic, eh?
So like
Yeah, it shows you.
that was today. I thought then then everything's delayed. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
It's
it's
powerful
so
to
hectic, and like that, like
Yeah.
maybe there was an angel just like holding it until you got there.
Yeah.
And then it was like, cool, you're here now.
Yeah,
so
sorted.
I remember we were driving. We were in the transition from moving to Joburg to Kenton, and me and one of my friends who was also moving with me, we were in Kenton. We were planning to go back and then, on Sunday and then come back the
Yeah.
following weekend to stay finally. So anyway, so we drive back, and now we leave at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, we need to get to Joburg. It's a 12, 13 hour
Yeah,
drive,
drive,
whatever,
yeah.
if you stop and eat breakfast and everything.
Depends who's driving.
And depends who's driving. I've done it like sub 10. So
I'm not
it's
gonna
not,
lie.
it's not bad. Yeah, it's okay. And you can pretty much get that just by not stopping to have food, you know. Anyway, so we leave, and the car is kind of like, the tank is
Leave
quarter.
this open because it makes a noise.
So we leave Kenton. We say, no, we're going to fill up in
Yeah.
Alex. So we drive, get to Alex. No, petrol station only opens at 6. So
Yes.
it's like 5. So we're like,
Yes,
whatever, we'll
I've
drive.
been there, experienced
Throw in
that.
the Nanaga doesn't have a garage yet. It's not open. So like, okay, so now we're going to Grahamstown. Now Grahamstown from Nanaga is probably like another 50, 60
Yeah,
kilometers
it's
or
about
something.
yeah.
And now the petrol light is already on. So I'm like, yo, bro, now we're pushing it. Because now we're at a place where there's like no. And I didn't know the area so well. Otherwise, we should have just gone to Colchester. I mean, that's 5 minutes from Nanaga. Anyway, so on our way to Grahamstown, and we're driving, and the light starts flashing eventually, and I don't know the road. I don't know how far Grahamstown is. And I'm sitting there, and this fear grips me because now I'm like, bro, we need to get to Joburg. Now, if we stay next to the road, we've got to call these people, and they're going to come and give us petrol, and then it's going to delay our plans, and it's just, I don't want this.
Yeah.
But it was like this fearful thing. And I just closed my eyes, because for some reason I couldn't open my eyes. And I just said, God, if you can heal people, and if you can make limbs grow back, you can put petrol in the tank. And I just prayed, and it was like this real battle that I had.
Yeah.
And next thing I opened my eyes, we're coming down that hill into Grahamstown. We turn left, and we're driving, and I'm just like praying, please, okay, well, we're at least not far, praying. We get there, and the robot's red, and as we get close to it, like we don't have to stop yet, the robot goes green, and we like roll over, and the engine goes, and we roll, and we stop right next to the pump,
Yeah.
and I'm like, damn, that was like, wow, thank you, Jesus, like that was amazing.
Exactly.
And it's so finely timed. It's like, oh, bro, like you can't leave that up to chance. That's just like impossible.
No.
But anyway, so amazing. God does this.
God's got our number. That's all I'm saying. Like,
This is like turning into story time.
If you're feeling like He doesn't have your number, you're wrong.
Yeah.
First of all,
Yes.
and And I was thinking now. I said now when you said you were looking at the milk or whatever thing, like I said, maybe you're thinking of God and everything. People say that. People say, you're just thinking God's in everything. God's in there, met the milk or whatever. He's in the sandwich you eat. Those small things don't matter to God because the big things matter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so wrong because He is in everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, He doesn't ask us to like permanently spend our lives asking Him, should I have Aramat on my popcorn?
No, you can't live your life like that. But
He's in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's in that. He's in the milk. He's in the. He's already there. The decision you've made.
Oh, it's amazing. Even just like thinking of our little candle company. I mean, gifts are coming up. Christmas.
Gift,
Go have a look at the earthcandles.co.za.
Yeah.
And earthcandlespe.co.za. Check it out.
No, not the one in Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, not the other dodgy one. But, so, I mean, we, like, not even a year ago, I said to Ang, man, let's just close this thing. Like, it's wasting my time. I'm getting orders here and there, but it's like,
it's not
whatever. It's not what I want, And she was like, and I thank God. Like I feel like God used her in the situation.
So what you're saying here, before you even say it, you're saying listen to your wife. Is that
yes.
Okay.
Wife, it's a good person to listen to. Yeah, 100%. But anyway, so we decided, okay, we're going to put some more effort in and just get it going, whatever. And the way that I've seen God bless that.
Yeah, crazy.
Man, I think we spoke about it briefly in the finance podcast or the business podcast, whatever. Yeah. And just a little bit of background for you guys who haven't seen that one. It's like I was just driving the one day and I had this realization, like after we decided now, okay, we're going to put some more effort into it. I just had this realization, we're pilgrims on this earth. Like, it's not, like, I'm not living for here, I'm living for there,
Yeah.
And so I said to God, can't I just do something that I like make candles, and then you bless it, and then so money's not a problem, and I can actually do what you want me to do. Do the podcast, we can be involved in church, we can be involved in prayer and fasting group and stuff, so that it's not like work is not consuming me. I get to, do what God wants. And I didn't initially get like a solid yes, like I'll bless this, whatever. I was just like, I just asked it and threw it out there, and I was like,
I think we don't get those solid yeses. I think we get a trust me.
Yes, 100%. And so I just left it, and man, can I tell you what? It's like my full-time thing. I just make candles out of my garage, and I send it nationwide. Like we're sending it all over the country.
Crazy.
We are in like 10 different shops already all over the country, and it's not like I'm marketing to wholesalers. People are coming to us and buying, and they're placing huge orders. Like right now, I've got a huge order at home, and I was supposed to send it today. Well, I wanted to send it today. I'm supposed to send it at least it should arrive by Friday, which I mean I have until Wednesday next week to do it. But like I like to over deliver. So I wanted to send it today, but I couldn't. It was just too many candles to make. And it's like seeing God's hand in it, and it's just blessing. It's amazing to when you live a surrendered life, like just like, okay, well, like if you don't have money, you don't have money, and then God will give you money, or he'll guide you in a certain way, or if you
he provides what you always need, and this is the thing. I think this is where I fall in on that same thing. It's not that he sends me money; he keeps me happy. I'm happy. I got my rifle. I got that. I did add to that as well. Someone that I was chatting to sent me a message. They heard about my rifle and what the story is, and so I said, They knew I was getting one and what the story was, and cool. And then he's like, listen, I'm gonna go look for some stuff. I think I might have some stuff for you. Turns out he's got a whole bunch of stuff for me. He's got a silencer, he's got a this, he's got a that, he's got a friend, he's a connection that'll sort out, putting rails on, scopes on, and I've got a scope given to me as well.
It's powerful,
I bought the bullets. The money, most of the money for the bullets was birthday gift. It's like
God uses.
It's not that
people.
God's saying I must run around and go shoot things now. No. But he's just keeping me happy. Like you said before, he's like,
he'll humor you.
He's like, be happy. There you go. Don't spend a lot of money, because I don't want to spend money on like. I'm terrible. Not terrible. I'm amazing. But sorry. I'm confidence. Oh no. I'm terrible at things like I don't want to spend money. I don't want to unnecessarily spend money. So hobbies, I don't spend money unnecessarily.
Okay.
Like my car, I don't want to spend the money. Like I would love to put rims on my car, big wheels. I'm there. Like put a turbo in there. I mean, it's probably not a good thing for my lead foot, but or the petrol pump, the petrol account. Yeah, that's what I wish my little figure sounded like. Like I'm there. I'm there for it, but I'm also like it's unnecessary. You know, it's unnecessary to
Yeah.
change. I don't
It's
have the,
unwise.
I don't have the best sound system in my car.
Yeah.
I have the Cash Crusader sound system, the new one, but from there, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
And I could pull it out, and I could put better and better, but I'm like, I'm happy, it's working,
Yeah.
cool. If
Yeah,
it breaks,
yeah.
we'll replace something.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm that guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't want to.
100%. Yeah, as long as it works. Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I got my little cupboard, this cost like basically nothing really. When the old ones that are way more expensive, you know, I want to have it to be happy, to have my knives there, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? That's the kind of thing. And I think God's like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Here's your gun. You can do your hunting. You can, you know.
And He uses people to bless people.
Exactly.
Like He can.
1000%.
Man, he can. Like absolutely, He can drop
course.
money out the sky. He can do supernatural things, and He does do that.
Course.
But like generally, He wants to help. He wants to give. It's like seed to the sower. You know, like Paul says in Corinthians. He wants to give seed to the sowers so that you can so that your whatever can increase, so that you can increase as a person. You know, so that your territory can increase and that your everything. You know, that your life can just grow and develop. Because like a tree that doesn't grow is dead.
Exactly.
And we are all trees planted.
It says
by
the
rivers
branch
of
that
water.
doesn't bear fruit will be
cut
from
off and thrown in the fire.
Yeah, and I mean, there's obviously talking about, you know, us not doing what was required of us.
Yes.
But I mean, if you think about it, that's exactly. If you're not going to advance.
No, you need to grow.
And I mean, I don't think that not that getting the rifle and all that made me grow, but it made me happier, which makes me more comfortable. If that makes sense in doing those things. I'm not still longing for that something, you know.
100%.
If that makes sense, I'm blessed. I mean, this new laptop it's like a crazy blessing, and it's a laptop.
When you're in a good place, the relationships you have energy and life to put energy into relationships.
Exactly.
And I feel like God knows that.
Exactly.
And He's like, dude, like. Obviously, it's not always going to be easy. I mean, life is difficult. Yeah, like we can have like 10 podcasts about the struggles we have as well. But like God's in it, and He helps us live a life that is fun. He humors us. He's like, cool, Hendrik, you know, you can get a bow. Like it's not good or bad. Like it's neutral. I want you to be happy. Like go
exactly.
You know, go get a gun. Oh, here's some money for bullets. You know, you'll like use people to bless people and stuff like that. And I think it's important to. I think I got a bit on a tangent there, but I think it's important to be open to that.
Yeah.
To have a relationship with Jesus and to be sensitive to be a blessing to people.
Exactly.
Because when you're a blessing, and you don't bless so that you can get a blessing.
Exactly.
Because you're not giving for yourself. Because it's not a selfish reason that you're giving for.
Exactly.
But when you give with when your hands open, money comes and goes. Resources comes and goes. You know, things that you need come and go. You know, it's like when you're trying to hold on to things like the Israelites, when they hold on to the manna, that's when it goes for.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. God tells them straight. You eat everything, and whatever's left, you leave it.
Yeah, leave it. Gooi it out.
It's fine. Tomorrow I will provide for you. And that's interesting. I mean, like, if you look at the Lord's Prayer, give us our daily bread. Like I always joke and say, you know, I wonder why it wasn't. Why it's not give us our weekly bread, give us our monthly bread, give us our yearly bread, or whatever. Obviously, it's because we need to rely on God.
Yes.
If you've been given your yearly bread, you're not going to need to rely on God. You sort it kind of thing. He wants you to rely on Him. But I think it's two parts. He wants you to have faith in Him, but He also wants you to have a relationship with Him.
Yeah.
That's that connection.
Yeah.
Keeps you there connected, you know. And so those things are exactly that. Those little things like that. He's continually giving you to keep you in a relationship and to.
It's so funny. Us as people, we're trying to trust God to bring us to a place where we no longer have to trust Him.
Yeah.
That's what we won't say it like that.
But that's the ultimate.
That's what we're thinking. Because
that's
yes, bro. If I could just have like all my debt cancelled, then I can breathe. You know.
Yeah.
Or if I can just have a big salary every month, I can just breathe.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like if that's going to make you stop.
Think about
trusting God, then obviously
think about it. If you don't have a big salary, you spend your time praying, Lord, please help me, please give me that.
Yes.
I'm not saying that. Obviously, we need to not only be asking God for stuff, obviously, but that's where you at, kind of thing. You're always trusting Him to give you that bread, that whatever it might be, fix the car, whatever it is. If you have that salary that covers all that, you don't need to be asking Him for that all the time.
100%.
So there, exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
There, that relationship is now broken.
Yeah.
Now it's relying on you to take it from a point of view of like just pure relationship.
Yeah.
Well, there are people who can do that, of course.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, guys. Let's honestly be honest. Be honestly.
Let's quickly take a short break, and then we'll.
And we're back.
And we're back. How's that?
if we're honest about it, we would be that. We would not be reliant on God if we had
Yeah.
the monthly or the yearly
100%. Yeah.
needs met.
Like if you
That's what I'm
know
saying.
that your money is sorted or your food and everything, like if you knew that you didn't have to
Yeah.
worry about any of that stuff, like I don't know if I would have a relationship with God like I do now, you know, like because it kind
Yeah.
of pulls you to Him. And the thing is, I mean, we've said this many times
Yes.
on the podcast, like if you we asked how much is too much, like for God to
Yeah.
bless you, and too much is where you stop trusting Him.
Mm.
So for some people, it's like, I'm trusting God, I'm praying, you know, just so that I can have my daily bread. For other people, it's like, you know, I'm still trusting that God will support me, but I'm
Yes.
trusting Him that He will give me such an abundance that I will be such a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, so for some people, it's 200 Rand, for some people, it's 200 million Rand.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I mean, one thing I always say about finance, I've dabbled a little bit with like trading and stuff like that. And if God, because God knows exactly what it's going to do.
Of
Like,
course.
He knows the end from the beginning. He knows exactly what it's going to
Exactly.
do. And if He downloaded just one day what the stock market is going to do, I could be
Exactly.
like a trillionaire in dollars in one day. That's how much money I could make.
Yes.
And I've worked it out. Like if I knew exactly what it was going to do, and I could take the money that I have and put it in there and exactly, you know, where it's going and stuff like that,
It fluctuates.
I would be a trillionaire in a day. And the fact that God is not doing that says something to me. Why is He not telling me that? So He's obviously, He doesn't, that's not what He wants for me.
Well, but I also think we put value, and it's not us. The world has done this. Put value. Value is financial.
Yes,
Blessing
yeah.
is financial.
Yeah,
Nonsense.
yeah,
We are already kings.
Yeah.
We are already princes of the king.
yeah.
We already have everything.
Yeah, it's like what the riches of this world is like passing away. In fact, He says, don't store up riches here,
Exactly.
where moth and rust and thieves
Exactly.
come to steal and whatever. Like store up heavenly riches. Be obedient to me and be a blessing to people around
Exactly.
you in obedience
Exactly.
to the Holy
Exactly.
Spirit, because that will rack up your heavenly account.
Exactly. And I think when you store up riches here, you store up all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah.
You store up riches, but now you need insurance because you don't want the guys to come steal it. Or if they steal it, then you need to cover it.
Yes.
Now you've got to work harder because you have more. Now
You
you've
have
got
more expenses and stuff, yeah.
All of a sudden, you way out of this whole thing. This thing has taken its a route down there somewhere where nobody knows what's going on anymore.
Yeah, 100%.
Not that there's anything wrong with insurance or anything like that. Obviously,
No,
we
it's
have
wise
insurance.
because God He makes you a steward of things,
Yeah,
and you
you
need to be a good steward of and be wise
Exactly.
about what you have.
Exactly.
But
So
having a Ford Ranger like wild track with all the bells and whistles on finance, you know, and the everything versus having maybe a smaller car which is cash or on a smaller payment, whatever.
yeah, much smaller payment. Doesn't have to be
there's
cash.
certain wise things. Yeah, it doesn't have to be
that's
cash.
the other thing.
Right.
People think it's one or the other. You either have to have a massive car on finance, whatever, or you have to have the skedonk that breaks down.
No,
Rubbish.
no, no. Just
My
be
Figo is on
wise.
finance. It's just
100%.
much cheaper
Yeah.
than a Ford Ranger,
Yeah.
Wild Track, blah blah blah, whatever.
100%.
So
and I mean, you could have squeezed it and gotten a bigger car and
I said I've
like
had
every month, but then
three
you stress.
opportunities I've had. I had a GTI, had a Hilux,
Yeah.
and there was another car as well. And I'm like, no.
No, it's not necessary.
No,
Yeah, it's not wise, and I think like God helps us with that. He's like, cool, don't make stupid decisions.
I think we again go back to what we were saying in the beginning. Even I mean, God is so involved in our lives. He actually is so intricately. That's the right word.
Involved.
In our lives. We don't notice it for one, which is a good and a bad thing, I guess.
Yeah.
We don't expect it,
Yeah.
and we don't understand it sometimes.
Yeah.
We don't understand why Hendrik is late.
Yeah.
I'm using that
Yeah,
example.
yeah,
We're on
100%.
time. We've got to do this thing. We're going to
Yeah.
run out of time. Now
Yeah.
we've got to change plans for this. Except God's going, yeah, but I need you to answer that call.
100%. Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
I've got another plan for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
And living a life of surrender, you're going to have so much more peace. And oftentimes, I mean, like there's certain things that I've just like, if I don't have money in my account by the end of the month, my medical bills or my medical aid won't go off, and then I won't be covered medically. And I've made peace with that. If that's what happens, then that's what happens. And it hasn't happened yet. If God doesn't look after me today, it'll be the first day in my life that He did.
Well, that's exactly it.
So
that's exactly it.
no. So I mean, he's looked after me, and He's looked after us, and you check back, and when things didn't work out, whatever, you check, like, looking back, you oftentimes see, okay, well, maybe I wasn't wise in the decisions I've made.
Correct.
God still covered me,
Correct.
even though
Correct.
I was in a bad place or whatever,
It still comes through for you. I mean, sounds like we're talking about finances. We're not. We're talking about trusting God, actually.
Yeah.
But if I look back, I think I did share this before, but to sum it up quickly, I was looking for a car. I had a scooter at the time because we had been working was way too far for it. It was too expensive to run the car, so I sold the car, got a scooter. It was time for a car now. God, I prayed, refreshed, Gumtree. I was on Gumtree, prayed, refreshed, poof, there was a Bantam, which is what I wanted. I bought it. God gave me that. I then, 2 years later, after struggling, fixing it, whatever, decided in my own knowledge that I'm tired of this car because it's full of nonsense.
Yeah.
I got rid of it and went to the Lada, which we had, and had nothing but trouble with the Lada.
Yeah.
There had been no trouble before that. Nothing but trouble, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not the way I drive because I drove that car differently.
Yes.
It's a 4x4, you drive it differently. I came to a point there where I was like, okay, Lord, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I now have moved house, and I know on the other side of town, a 6K per litre is way too expensive.
It's expensive, yeah.
Even on a car you've paid that's paid off,
Yeah.
Lord, I don't know what to do. And this Figo became available, and a perfect situation, the right deal, just boom.
It
it's
presented itself. Yeah.
It's like God's going, you know what? And I mean, it's been good. Like the deal is the way it was worked out. It's just really been good. I've been able to make it every month, and not just make it, like it's God's blessed. He was like, I gave you the Bantam, just like the Israelites. I think we're so dumb. We have the whole story here.
We have all the examples.
We're not like the Israelites who didn't have this. We have the example, and we still do the same thing that they did.
They didn't have Brandon and Hendrik to, look how God provided for them. They
didn't have that podcast.
And we have that,
And so I got rid of the Bantam, fell out of what he'd planned for me, sickled, wandered in the desert for 40 years.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, I sickled. You have no idea. That gearbox broke. The gearbox broke from the accident the vehicle was in before I even had it.
The Lada.
Yeah, the Lada.
Yeah.
And I've stripped that gearbox. I learned how to sort of fix a gearbox, but to fix a gearbox from that. Yeah. But it was never really fixed. It was eventually fixed, and what was wrong with it? What I thought was wrong was not what was wrong. It was chaos for a year and a half or whatever it was. Chaos.
Yeah, no, that is.
Of wandering around the desert. Chaos.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And then when I what are you saying? I surrendered to God. I said, "Oh, okay, I actually can't do this."
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, the figure happened.
Exactly. I told Hendrik a testimony, which I won't go into details of, but I'll put it this way: same thing. I've been battling not battling, but
it's
frustrated. It's irritated me for years now or months now, And when I eventually gave into what God was saying,
and it's not.
And He's provided.
When you just surrender, when you're just like, okay, God, whatever, I give it into your hands.
It's not going, you know what? Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It's going, Lord. Okay, I give it. That's it. I give it into your hands. And at that stage, I needed. I mean, the Lada was just not working. I lived across town, stinking hot, heavy on fuel. I said, Lord, all I would like, Lord, I don't care what brand it is, honestly. I have a brand that I'm a fan of, the only one that really makes any sense,
Yeah. You circle the solution.
Yeah, so Ford. Obviously, in that time. But I was like, Lord, whatever. I just would like an air conditioner and I would like power steering.
Yes.
I don't care if it doesn't have ABS, doesn't have central locking. That if I can get those two, I would really, because traffic in the heat of the summer from one side of town, the next is a pain. Yeah. And he was like, I got you.
Yeah, solid.
Now this thing recently, I was like, Lord, okay, I surrender. You've got a plan, and poof, within hours, he was fulfilling his
living
his
a life
plan.
living a life of faith. And
So,
it's not this faith that sometimes gets preached by the televangelists, and I think that God uses them, bless them. But it's like, it's not this name it and claim it, and God is my blessing, and God has all this whatever. Like you surrender your life, you give your life to Him, and He'll look after you.
Exactly.
Like, the thing is, I mean, if I've got workers, and the Bible says that you who are evil know how to give good gifts, how much more your Father in heaven.
Yeah, I think we said that last week as well. Yeah.
So I try and do the right thing.
Yes.
But the Bible still refers to me as an evil person, which I agree with. But like, let's say the people that work for me, I really try and look after them.
Yeah.
I try and be a great example to them. I try and show them, the love and the care and the compassion that I would want.
Yes, be shown to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you try and just be a good example. I don't know, where was I going with this? What were we talking about? But
like surrendering and
Living a life of faith.
Yeah, living life of faith. It's not televangelist faith. It's
Yes, so it's not like you're not trying to name it and claim it and everything. You're trying to bless these people, trying to help them. And
doing it with the right heart.
Yes, you're doing it with the right heart. And I've so oftentimes seen that when you do that, just out of that surrender, just trying to be a good example, like God will send other people that will be a good example to me, that I can look up to, and they will help me because they're in a higher position that God has placed them.
I think 100%. I think you also you change your attitude when you surrender.
Yeah.
So I think if I go to like, I mean, I've been in worship teams for years and years and years and years and 20 years or whatever it is, 22 years. I think it's just over those 20 years, the different worship teams I've been into. And when there's been a difficult time and I've had to surrender, going, okay, I'm not number one.
Yeah.
I'm not the most important thing. And the most important thing is the worship team, is the worshiping God, is whatever, how that works. The situation hasn't necessarily changed.
Yeah.
But because I've changed my attitude towards it, and I'm not arrogant about it, I'm surrendering it to God.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
He's done exactly that. Sent someone in, or the situation has changed all on its own. You know. Actually speaking to some leaders the other day, and I was saying, we were talking about like people that, so like in the youth, consider up to nonsense or whatever, and like not bad, seriously bad stuff, but things that don't need to be part of and whatever. And like they're always like, well, let's I want to jump on my youth and I want to get this, I want to stamp it out. And there are things for sure. On a Friday night, if you do certain things, I'm going to say, right, you stop now, you're going home. Kind of thing.
Yeah. There's a line.
But there's other things where I go, you know what? I know that you are moving at the end of the year, or end of the month, or end of the year. Yeah, we are in November. So you're moving at the end of November, Jane. You're going to Joburg.
Yeah. There's no use.
I don't have to fight with you over this issue.
Yeah.
Break up this friendship because it's not a great friendship because it's going to die on its own.
Yeah.
There are times when we do it at work. There are times when we battle all the kids, and there's times when I'm like, it's not worth the fight. I have a situation coming up soon where I need a venue. I need to use a venue for something, and someone else has come along, and they're going to now kind of take the venue to. They need to do something else there, which is only for the next day. And I was like, you know what? I could fight, and I have all the right to say, listen, this is my space. I've booked it. But is it worth the fight?
No.
It's not. No. Is it worth the fight? Is it going to bring me closer to God? Is it going to take me away?
No.
There's that question that I've always had. I always use in every decision, and I decided, it's going to take me away if I fight him, or not him, if I fight the situation. It's going to take me away from
God.
And I think
to get back to just living a life of faith, trusting God and trusting that, when you walk in a life of surrender to Him, like I think that's what I was trying to say. Like the people that work for me, I look after them because they're submitting under me, they're working for me. Just to an extent, they expect me to look 100%. After them financially or whatever, to an extent.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing when we surrender to God and we're like, God, I give you my life. He's going to look after you. He's going to make sure you're a good person.
Exactly.
If I, who am referred to as an evil person in the Bible, can do it, how much more will God look after His people and His children?
Exactly.
He loves us. He will provide for you. He will make a way. Like He'll send the Adidas with a Checkers packet full of food if that's what He needs to do. I would say Ravens, but I don't know.
Is that cronky Adidas that lands on my roof? Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe.
Because that bro has not brought any enough food or anything there. He just brings noise and chaos.
It's because your house is full of food.
Well,
not
no.
Well,
I'm one of those guys. I don't have food in my house, bro. I was looking for lunch before you got, and I'm like, I ate leftover couscous that was in the fridge. I'm like, I don't have anything. I'm just don't keep food in my house.
This is post bachelor life.
Exactly, and also I like to get fresh food. I'm that kind of person. But I was just thinking now, but you're saying like my devotions the last 3 weeks or so have been in that book. It has been talking about the disciple, talking about the evangelist, talking about the and not breaking down the roles necessarily, but saying like, and literally, if you could, like in the movies where they have those boards where they're searching for someone, they put all the information. If you could put all those pages out, all the information, and you had to put God in the middle, and you had to point to something, the word I reckon that would be there would be surrender. Because all of those roles need surrender. All of them, he says in different Bible verses, or he takes it out, and he's like, basically, if we surrender, God's got this.
We need to give it over to Him.
We want to be part of it, we surrender.
And then also, it's like a very extreme example in the Bible is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yes.
Where they were just like, they surrender their lives to God, and they said to the king, we will not bow to this statue, we will serve God, God will deliver us. And even if He doesn't deliver us, we will, at least it'll be known that we did not bow down to your thing. You know,
He
so
doesn't
they,
deliver us, we're going to heaven.
yeah, we literally they surrendered their lives,
Yeah.
and they did like the book of Revelation says that, and they did not love their lives unto death. You know, people like that, like even if in the face of death they did not default, and they stayed faithful, and they stayed trusting God. And I think if you can live a life like that, man, the peace that you're going to have, and that doesn't mean you're not going to have problems. I mean, like I said, we can go on many podcasts about how many problems we have.
Well, I don't think it was easy for them. I don't think it was easy for them, you know.
Bro, I can imagine they're like terrified, you know, chilling there.
That's the thing I always think. Like I said this a while ago, and it's something that's been playing over and over in my mind. All these Bible stories, because we have the Bible, it's like we're not faithists, we understand faith. It's, and I'm not talking about us, I'm talking about the world.
Yeah.
We're like, shit, it's easy. We know God's going to come through.
Yeah.
They didn't know that.
They
didn't have that.
Yeah.
I mean, before the rain came with Noah and the ark, there was no. Before that, there was no rain.
There was no rain, bro. Well, there was never rain.
When Abraham took Isaac up to the mountain, there was no lamb.
Yeah, he was going to kill his son. Yeah,
there was no lamb.
Him. Yeah, exactly.
The Bible series has a great little description, or like the way they play it. It's beautiful. Ties his son up, whatever. He's like, okay, Lord, he's got the knife, and he's like, okay, and he's like, he's freaking out, and he's like, and then you hear an angel call his name, and he turns around like this, and there's this lamb caught in there. And I'm like, that's what I feel like, because if he knew the lamb was there, he would be like, cool, never mind. Just keep eating, you know. And that's not the case.
And oftentimes, you know, like I think in surrender and in living a life, you know, devoted to God, like ultimately, he's going to ask you to sacrifice everything. He wants everything. He's not like half your life. He doesn't want to be added to your life. He wants the full package. He wants everything of you. And what I learned from the story of Abraham and Isaac is that God would oftentimes give you the most valuable thing.
Correct.
God would give you the thing that is the most valuable to you, and then He will ask for you to sacrifice that thing that He gave you. Just to see, and it's not that He doesn't know, because He knows what you're going to choose.
Exactly.
It's for you to understand.
So for revelation in your life,
so that you can, because it's easy to say, of course, I like if God had to put me in that situation, like of course I would do it. You know, of course
I've got this. I'm amazing.
But if you actually go through it and you realize that, hey, listen, this is the love, this love that I have for God, this obedience and the surrender that I have for God is real. It's true. That changes you as a person, and it changes your walk with God, and it gives you a confidence and a faith that you walk in that people see, and people want that, because there's a stability and there's a peace and there's a like a Holy Spirit vibe.
There's
about that
verse in the New Testament. I'm not sure exactly where it is, but I know it talks about following God. If you want to follow me, you need to hate your parents, hate your family.
Yes.
Now I know that I have heard of churches that have quoted that wrong.
Yeah.
Even they've made it to be like literal hate. You can't talk to him. No, that's not the point.
That's not what he's saying.
The point, because that doesn't make sense of God. God sent His Son, which makes family, which means how would you?
Yeah. So
anyway,
Jesus was obedient to the Father, but he.
Anyway, what they're saying there is that point. You've got to be so willing to sacrifice your whole self, and not your life as in the breath.
Yes.
My will.
Yeah.
You know, Paul, I think it says you need to die to self every single day.
Yeah, 100%.
What is dying to self every day? Dying to self every day says I'm not buying a GTR.
Yeah.
Because I know that I can't afford it.
Yeah.
I know if I get behind the wheel of a GTR, there's going to be trouble for me. Because of the way I drive, and yes, the car's built for that. I'm going to push the limits even more.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? 100%. Or whatever it might be. You know, I mean, it's like those who have addictive personalities. They know if they get into a bar, there's going to be trouble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
they're going to drink too much. They're
like
going to whatever. So they step out of it.
100%. So for me, like I feel like I was born and raised in Joburg, and then God delivered me and brought me to PE.
The promised land.
Yeah, the promised land. I love it, yeah. And I feel that there was a stage in my life where God said, I want you specifically to be in PE. This was like a couple of years after I've already been here. And I was like, cool, you know, like I'm here, like
doing my thing.
It was quite strong that He said, I want you to be here.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, I'm more here. Like, why, it's quite odd that you would say so strong. Yeah. And then not long after that, there was friction between family and, you know, so a whole bunch of stuff, whatever. And I had the opportunity, I had the choice to leave. Yeah. Or I could stay. And it was at that time it was super difficult for me, and it was super difficult for family members to see me make this decision that according to them was wrong and whatever. But I made the decision because I believed that God wanted me
Yes.
here. And
Yeah,
that
he had planned.
I didn't make the decision in rebellion to anyone. I didn't make it to hurt anyone. I made it purely because I felt this is what God wanted for me. And in that situation, I think that's what it says. Like, don't, or you have to hate your parents or whatever.
Yeah.
He's saying like, don't let the parents or don't let family members or even wife and kids distract you from doing what God wants you to do.
Yeah.
I mean, even there's a guy in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
I'll go read it up. Go search it. Where there's a young prophet.
Yeah.
And God said to him, like something along the line, I'm butchering the story probably, but like, go to this other city, don't stop, don't go anywhere,
Yes.
just straight go there. And this young prophet met an older prophet, and this older prophet said, come to my house, come drink tea and whatever. And he said, no, I have to go. And he said, no, God told me you can come drink tea with me. So the young guy went to the old prophet and drank tea with him, and as he left, a lion came out of the bush and ate him, and he died.
Yeah.
And the thing is that guy wasn't obedient.
Exactly. Well, we know. I mean, again, I'm paraphrasing the story here, but or how you want to say it. When Israel, they were fighting, they fought someone. God said, "Kill everything."
Yeah.
He said, "Kill every living person, every creature. Chop the crops down.
Yeah.
Kill the animals. Kill everything." And they kept the king. They kept some of the animals, whatnot. And it's a crazy story. At the time frame, I'm not 100% sure as well. But all I remember was that they kept the king, and while the king was in captive, they sent in Israelite women to go and keep him entertained.
Yeah.
We all know what that, and keep him warm at night. We all know what that means. And it's interesting because God said, if you kill them, and you'll have control of them.
Yeah.
It turns out that generations later, I don't think it was Saul. I can't remember which one of the kings was. They were at battle. He actually decided that they were losing because they had now obviously good old Israelites gone away from God. They are now losing the battle. The king looks up, realizes it's a mess, whatever, and he goes to kill himself. Okay, so he stabs himself in the field, and along comes this dude who's like walking with his sheep and whatever, and the king hasn't died. Okay, the king's like so he's in pain. Obviously, he hasn't died. So he asks the guy to help him, if I remember correctly, and the guy ends up killing him, chopping his head off.
Yeah.
That guy is a great grandson of this relationship of these Israelite women to this king that they should have destroyed.
That's crazy.
That nation that he comes from, that nation almost destroys the Israelites again. Then you generate like hundreds of years later or 200 years later, whatever it is. And it's crazy because it's for me it's crazy because it's like God told them on that to destroy everything.
Yeah.
Now obviously this is Old Testament, so like we don't, God doesn't do that now. But the point is, if we don't do exactly what He says to the degree that God said it, it's not necessarily a case of it'll be fine. I'm half-hearting it. I'm lukewarm. Says if you're lukewarm, I'll spit you out.
Yeah.
You know, it's a case of you got to do what He says because you don't know what's coming down the line.
Yeah.
The Israelites were nearly completely destroyed by this nation that they should have wiped out.
Yeah.
But because they didn't obey God, they had this.
Yeah, there's
situation.
repercussions. Your obedience has ripple effects. You know?
Exactly, and your surrender has ripple effects.
Yeah.
I've always said that as well. I've always said when I used to do Bible with the little kids at the centre, we split them up. I used to draw. They would talk about this kind of stuff. When I draw a line on the board, I'd say, okay, here's your life now. Here's God's plan for you, right? This is going to take 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But now you see here, we start walking and we mess around. So we end up here, and we do this whole zigzag around the line. We eventually get here to the point.
Yeah.
And this line here is 60 years,
Yeah.
you know, or 70 years.
Yeah.
Where the straight line
It
that
could have
God
been
made was 20
years,
years. You know what I mean?
100%.
I'm like, that's a key thing in your life.
Yeah.
The more times we run away from Him and do whatever we don't, surrender to Him, the longer we make this situation be. Whether 20 years could be 20 years to this point, and then 150 years in His blessing.
Yeah. I don't want to I don't want to shortcut God's plan.
No.
And I also don't want to get away from suffering. But if God wants me to go through something for 10 years, I sure as heck don't want to make it 30 years, you know?
Yes.
Like, let's keep it to the shortest time that we can to learn what we need to learn and to grow. Because ultimately, we're not living for earth. I mean, this earth it's very clear. This earth is going to be destroyed and there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. We're not living for this. We're living for the future. The future. We're living for heaven. Because the thing is, what people don't understand is they think is like, okay, one day when I die, I get to go have eternal life. Yeah. But it's actually the second you gave your life to God, you started eternal life.
Correct.
Your body might pass away and you get a new body, but you as a person, your spirit and your soul,
who you are,
who you are, your eternal life starts the second you gave your life to God and accepted Jesus Christ, as your Lord and Savior.
It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
the surrender is it's so important. I think.
Yeah.
I think if you surrender, you are almost awakened.
Yeah.
That's right. You're awakened to what God's doing in your life.
Yeah.
Because you're not looking at your stuff.
Yeah.
You're not looking at your nonsense. You're looking at what God's doing, and you
Yeah.
realize. I've said this before. You realize how much He's doing in your life. You realize how the blessing has come in, and how the car, the whatever, the friends, the friendship group. I've changed friendship groups. I'm not going to say changed like I don't talk to but people that I see all the time, a couple of times in my life, like we all do. Junior school, high school, out of school, whatever. The story might be changed.
You put people in your life for a season.
And I mean, there are those that that are in my life from years before that I still see and talk, and that's all. I love them.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's like great to hang out with them. But there's also people that are new, that are in my life. We're at different spaces.
How long do we know each other? Maybe like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, we God put obviously us in each other's lives, and
I mean, all of this all was literally like out of a. We chatted, we were in life group together and all that stuff. Yeah. But all this sort of came out of like the first hunting trip kind of thing, like chatting in the back. You're going, yes, so we really chatted a lot about
something to say. Yeah,
we have something to say. You know what I mean? And then woof.
And here we are at episode 11. I mean, we've literally consistently for 11 weeks, recorded every week. Yeah. And we've put stuff out, and I think I don't see it stopping. I mean, I'm loving it. Like, this is really awesome.
There's so much to say, and not because we got all the answers. We don't.
No, we like talking about it. We like
talking about it. Yeah, I like being open. I think the more you talk about stuff like this, I
like being outspoken.
Yeah, you like being outspoken.
Yeah.
Hint from where the name came from.
Yeah.
No, but you like to. We also like to. What did my mom always says, or we always in the family, chew the fat on the stuff.
Yes.
How does it work? What is it? What do you think of this? Do you
discuss it? Talk about it.
There's all sorts of things.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll throw one of those ones out there now. Quickly, we won't talk about it now, but we must actually do an unpopular opinions episode as well. But like, for example, we might lose some viewers here. We might not. The scholars or whatever reckon that the Garden of Eden was in Africa somewhere.
Okay.
Ethiopia, around there. Well, surely that would make Adam and Eve black.
Okay.
African American, African, whatever you want to.
Yes,
I have no issue with it. To me, that's obviously.
Well, we know they're not Chinese. Otherwise, they would have eaten a snake. I'm just joking. Sorry.
Terrible.
All our Chinese listeners.
That is terrible. No. But my point is, now that we choose it, now people are talking this. People are asking me. They're hearing. They saw this article. I mean, I had guys that they said he saw this article about this. He watched the Bible actually, and he saw Samson was a black gentleman.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, if I think about it, if your hair or my hair grows my whole entire life, it'll be on the floor.
Yes.
It won't go to afro. It will hang out.
Yeah.
So, but Samson never cut his hair. So
he had like dreadlocks, isn't it?
The one in the way they put in dreadlocks. But I mean, even if it isn't dreadlocks, even if it's an afro or whatever, the point is that we with our hair it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it's too straight. Yeah.
God has a plan.
Yeah. He'll use people.
It doesn't matter what kind of the person is.
I think it's naive to think that everyone in the Bible was white.
Yes.
I mean the naivest view.
Well, blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus.
Yeah. That's not who he was.
Jew.
He wasn't. He was Jewish. Yeah.
So
he was a brown man.
Curly hair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, chewing the fat on that is so nice because you get to hear other people's opinions and other people's. You go, okay, cool. Well, maybe that was right. Remember, look it up. Whatever. Even if it's not right.
Someone said the fact that like Jesus. Like, we have everyone in their own language has a name for him. So, like, in English it's Jesus, in Afrikaans it's Jesus.
Yeah.
In some of the black languages it's Jesu.
Jesu, yeah.
And so it's like, and actually in like people called him Yeshua.
Yeah.
So it's like, we can't have, we build our own picture of who Jesus is, and that's oftentimes wrong.
We build our own picture of our faith or Christianity.
Yes.
And I think that's what's so nice about this, us and you guys chatting and you guys watching and commenting and those kind of things, is that we're taking that picture now and we're giving it to everyone, saying, okay, what do you guys think? And there are parts where we go, okay, no, I don't think it was that. I think
maybe
it
I
was
wrong.
Maybe I was wrong.
And that's something. I mean, we very much like if we get corrected. Like, I'll publicly say, that thing that I said there, I've learned and I've taken that back, and that's not right.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I mean, even like we talk about this, I mean, for me, race is not an issue at all. I don't really care whether Jesus was a Jew or not, whether he was, but my point is, I don't care whether he had blonde hair, blue eyes, doesn't matter. He's still the savior. Samson was still strong. It didn't matter what color he was, what his hair was, whatever. I just get intrigued. For me, that kind of stuff intrigues me because I'm like, God's plan was always there.
Yeah.
Well, the world made a picture.
Yeah.
And now we've got this opportunity. Now we've been studying. Now people are going, wait a minute, the Garden of Eden was most likely here.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, maybe it's in Kazakhstan. I don't know.
Yeah.
What they go by their, what they've studied and whatever. And obviously you can't trust everything you read. You eat the meat, spit out the bones. I get that. And I'm going, wow, that
we're trying to figure it out. Yeah,
it intrigues me. God made it. God put this in. I always wonder, and this is a funny thing. I always wonder with the world, the way the world is now, and whatever, with race and whatnot. Like, God knew this was going to be here.
Yeah.
So He knew if He made Samson black, it was going to use that opportunity to break the stereotypes, to break this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's not why He did it.
Yeah.
He did it because Samson was an amazing man. But the point was that it can be used to break this now.
Yeah.
2,000 years later.
100%.
More than 2,000 years later.
Yeah.
We're there 2,000 years
Yeah, no, God set us up. Yeah, and it's like if we were only to listen, like if the world had to surrender right now, it would be heaven. And that's what heaven will be like. I suppose that's why it's not like that, because the world has fallen and people, are so wise in their own eyes, and they just, it's, even in, I think it's Psalms chapter 2 where it says that the leaders of this world will make war against God. They will literally, like in the end, like they will be like, cool, we're going to blow him up with guns.
Look,
and then it says that
we love guns, but you got to be a little
it says
more
that he who
realistic.
sits in heaven laughs. So he's
Well,
like, come on, guys. And then it's like he consumes them with the breath of his mouth, I guess. And then they die. So it's crazy. It's interesting to see how God had set us up and made a way back then already. He had given the Israelites manna, and he had let them go through that, so that Hendrik and Brandon today can read that story and be like, damn, like he provided then, and he knew back then that in a couple of thousand years I'm going to use this story to help those guys out.
Correct.
And we are definitely not the only people. I mean, you listening here and people other,
exactly.
like God's really got away and planned.
I think that that we, as I said it just now, we are such muhus actually. If you think about this whole situation, because yes, that's exactly what he did, but yet we still disbelieve or we still worry about these things. And God's like, I've given you a whole book of how many pages, something thousand pages, just the Old Testament alone, that says, I've got your back.
I got your home slice.
I got your home slice.
Anyway.
Hendrik's version of gangsterism right there. So I think surrendering is key, guys. I think
living a life of faith and living a life of surrender is powerful. It'll take you places. It'll give you peace.
I think surrender is work, and the Bible says faith without works is dead. So you need the work. You need to surrender. You need to do that. To have the faith. You're not going to have the faith if you don't surrender. I think.
100%. Cool. So,
awesome.
That was a good one. Okay, like and subscribe. Follow us. Comment. Share, tell your friends, tell your family. 100%.
Sit them all down and watch on the big screen.
And we also want to suggest, like, if you have actually gotten to the end of the video, like for future, if it's tedious to sit and watch, for an hour long, put it in the car while you drive. Put it, whatever. It's like,
you put it on while you're cooking, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch some today. Watch the next piece tomorrow. Watch the next piece the day after.
Exactly. So
the point is just be part of the family, be part of the group. Outspoken is a family.
Join us in this thing and join us in the discussion. I mean, we're open to having guests and stuff. So if you feel that you have a viewpoint about something we've spoken about,
get all of us.
Send us a message. Get all of us and we'll maybe set something up. I think that'll be lucky.
Take it from there. I think we're going to look at getting a guest pretty soon. I think.
Yes, definitely.
It's
episode 11, so I mean, I suppose people have heard enough of us now.
But I'm like,
what get used to it?
No more. If they talk about hunting one more time.
We actually didn't talk about hunting that much.
So on that note.
On that note, we knew bullets, some 180 grain slow boats. Damn, son, those things pack a punch. So
the vegans are all freaking out.
Well, I mean, Terrence, I don't know if you watch it. He said to me the other day, he's with Jackson, going to come on a hunting trip with us.
Bro, you're welcome.
So he said, just before we take the shot, Jackson is going to run out and scream and let the buck run away.
I don't think he realizes that
No.
we don't wait to take the shot.
Yeah. No, we
don't. This is not watching those American, no offense, Americans, hunting programs where they take 20 years to take a shot.
No,
we stop, they stay still, we fire.
No. Anyway,
Yeah.
lucky guys. Yeah, bless you. Have an awesome weekend.
Cool.
And we'll see you
We'll see you next week. Okay.